Okay, in the previous lesson, we have talked about the agriculture and we talk about how you can increase the field, you can say yield of in agriculture, and how you can, by using the pesticide and herbicides like this, how you can use them to improve your crops. And we also discuss the different types of the agriculture. So now we will see that the impact of agriculture on people and environment. So it is, we will see that how agriculture or a type of agriculture, you can say, affect the other things like humans and like the environment. Okay. Now the main thing that the overuse of herbicides and insecticides, these are two type of the chemical which are used to kill the unwanted things in a crop. Herbicides is used to kill the plants which are not required inside your crop, and insecticide is used to kill the insects which are going to damage your crop. So they're saying that if you are going to overuse them, then it can, you can say, affect the lot of ways. And what are those things we will see now. Okay, now they're saying that the for the human and other. Now, when you are talking about the food chain, for example, in I think maybe in biology you have food chain also. In food chain, you will find that different animals are depending on different animals. Okay, so in that case, they're saying that whenever you are going to kill any one type of the insects or animals, it is going to disturb your food chain. Maybe that animal which is killed, it is food for other. So that species or particular the type of the, you can say, animal, it can be affected by that. Now they're saying that number one also cause the unattended environmental damage. What is that? Beneficial insects like bees are also affected and the food web is disturbed. And we talk about food chain or food web. So this, it is disturbed. Number two, the spray drift. Herbicides stay longer in the soil and may affect the next crop. That herbicides sometime if you are using them, so even you are spraying them, but due to some reason that they kill the, you can say, the plants, but still they are on the soil. Herbicide, again I told you, what are they? Chemicals like sprays. So then they can disturb the next soil. Heavy rain can cause leaching of these chemicals into lakes, causing the damage to the other organisms. Now they're saying that if you spray, if you use a herbicide, and at the same time that maybe the heavy rain came, so it will take that herbicide or insecticide to the nearby lake, maybe the river, maybe the stream, so it can damage the other organism. In the other way, you can say both they are almost the poison, because the insecticides and herbicide, they are poison for the plants and for specific, but still they are poison. So when they will go to the river or the canal or a stream or a lake, so it will destroy the other organisms also. Okay. After that, they're saying overuse of fertilizers. Sometimes, as I told you, that you are using fertilizers. Mainly, we have three type of fertilizers in which you have nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. So if you will overuse them, because that normally the people, they do not make a analysis that how much amount is required. They just by an estimation they are using. For example, if this is your field, in that field, what the best thing, you will take a sample of the soil from this field, then you will take it to the lab, and in the lab that people, they will analyze and they will tell you that which mineral is in a deficiency, nitrogen, potassium, phosphorus, whatever. So according to that, they will also tell you that, for example, in 1 acre, how much you can say how much fertilizer you should use. So this is the systematic process. But normally the farmers, they are not much educated. They don't have that enough time. Maybe they don't have a lab nearby. So they're just using the fertilizers according to their estimation. And in these cases, sometimes the fertilizers become overuse, mean more than required one. So then it can destroy the a lot of things. For example, economically also and biologically also. They're saying addition of extra mineral nutrients is a waste of money. Yes, for example, if you're buying it, you're buying more than required, it's a waste of money. Okay. And after maybe the soil will reach to maximum level. After that, it is not good. Heavy rain can dissolve the nutrients and cause leaching the same way. If the rain is there, it can take that fertilizer to the nearby lake and it can destroy the other organism in the lake. Excess water containing dissolved fertilizer drain into nearby lakes nearby, and also it is bad for them. Then you have nitrates the same way. You have the nitrates from fertilizers consumed can be cause disease such as blue baby syndrome. It can be affected that, so that the fertilizers, if you see, they are not good, but people are using it to increase the yield, the production in the field. But if you know that when the people use, they were not using these fertilizers, so people are stay healthy. If you go just like 50 years, 6 years back, when the people are not using any fertilizers, and whatever the crop they are getting from the field, so it is very, you can say, healthy. And now you can see that every second person has blood pressure, sugar, and all other things. It is one of the cause of that. There are other causes for these diseases, but this is one of the cause that we're using fertilizers. Large quantities can affect the pH of the soil. Yes, if you will add more and more, you can say the fertilizers, it can also affect the pH of the soil. And if the pH of the soil is disturbed, you will not get the good crop. That is one of the effect. After that, too much trace elements can toxic to the plants. Yes, the same thing. Excess of everything is bad. So these are the points you can see. So from in the exams, they will ask 1 or 2. So there are more than, I think, 8, 9. So when anyone you can write it for the answer. After that, what is the solution? Solution that strict limit on where and when and how the fertilizer must be applied. So for that, you need a analysis or the chemical analysis of your soil, that which type of fertilizer you need, when you should apply that one, and how much you should apply that one. And the best thing, you will use organic fertilizers. Organic fertilizer which are used by, you can say, some farmers. But once again, that it also have some advantage disadvantages. It is unpleasant to handle, the quantity is small, so everything has some advantages and some disadvantages. So you have to, this is one of the solutions. If an exam comes that, and the inorganic fertilizers, they are creating an impact on the environment or in the people, so what is the solution? So you can write this solution. It is the, you can say, best solution. And what is that? You should be strict, or you should be monitor where, when, and how much quantity should be applied. Or if it's possible, use the organic fertilizer. Again, organic fertilizer is a fertilizer which is made by the waste of plants and animals. It is made by the waste of plants, animals, and food. So they are known as organic fertilizers. After that, another thing, how the agriculture is affecting the environment or the people, that is misuse of irrigation. Irrigation, as I told you, that the plant, giving water to the plant, or you can say watering the plants, it is known as irrigation. And if you are giving too much water to your field, if you remember, we studied different type of the systems. One was that sprinkling, if you remember. Other was clay pot, after that trickling, then flood watering. So all these are the ways how you can the irrigate your field. So still it has some impact on the environment. What are those? We will see it now. For example, it is damage to the soil structure. So it is really when it is wet, air pockets are lost and the soil is compacted. For example, if you have soil, in the soil, normally you have small gaps. You will find small gaps here. And if you will put too much water, so maybe this soil, they don't have any gap. It become like this. So this type soil is known as compact soil, when the particles are become very close to each other. And if the top layer top layer of the soil become really hard, so remember, it's known as capping. It's known as capping, or it's known capping soil, if the top structure. So they're saying that the irrigation can also affect the soil structure. And if you are giving or you are providing too much water, it can cause the death of the plant roots, and finally the plant will die. Loss of nutrients, sometime the water will take the nutrients with them. After that, soil erosion, it means it will erode the soil. If you remember, we studied two things: weathering and erosion. Weathering, we said that something will break down into small pieces. That is weathering. And erosion means those small pieces will move from one place to another with the help of wind, with the help of water, or with the help of any other thing. So that's known as erosion. So they're saying that when you are doing the irrigation, especially in flood watering, when you do the flood type, means that it can take the soil, and soil is eroded. After that, the soil capping, as I told you, that the top layer of the soil become hard like a cover, so that's known as soil capping. So irrigation can cause these type of effects. After that, you have salinization. It means that it will get a layer of on the soil, just like a white color. Maybe you observe, if you went to a field or some area, it's just like this. This is too much water, because water has salt. Water has salt inside them, different salt. For example, if it is your field and you are using water in this water contains salts, and due to sun, the water will evaporate. Due to sun, the water will evaporate, and due to that, the salt is left behind. So this problem happens in the area where the water is too much salty. So then you can get this kind of problem. Also, maybe in a small areas, you can find like this also, this white stuff. Okay. And if you have too much water, then the prevent soil cultivation. And it's difficult to cultivate soil with a high water content. If the soil has lot of water, so you will not get the good crop. And why this water came? Because you irrigated it too much. So these are the different effects of irrigation on the environment and the human. After that, you have overproduction and waste. You know that sometimes the farmers, they are getting lot of product from their field, and that is overproduction, means more than required. And sometimes some crops, they become wasted. due to some disease, due to some, you can say, and any problem like flood, like any other thing, so that the food is wasted, the crop is wasted. So that production and the waste, it can also, you can say, like a bad impact on the environment. After that, the, you can say, you don't have a specific place to store it, because if you have overproduction, you need a place to store it. But the place where you keep this one, it should have the proper system where it will not spoil. Means proper, the chemicals should be used, proper ventilation should be there, a lot of things are there. And after that, if you have a waste product, or you have like a overproduction, so where you have to send it to a place which is needed, and for that you need transportation. And the quality of the product, due to that, is also low quality, means less demand. If your crop is not good, maybe the people will not buy that one, it's also waste. After that, too much labor. For example, if you have overproduction, you have waste, so you have to, you can say, fix it by removing it. And for that you need labor, you need money, and that is also costly. So if you will get in agriculture, you have overproduction. Overproduction, again I told you, you have the crop more than you need, and if it is wasted, so this type of problem comes. So this is another effect of agriculture on environment and the human. Okay. Now they're saying that, as I told you, in the soil you have different minerals, main nitrogen, potassium, and phosphorus. So if when you are doing the agriculture and you are taking too many crops from the field, so it is obvious, or it is clear, that after some time the amount of minerals in the soil, it become less. That's known as exhaustion of the minerals. Okay, so they are using again and again. How they will fix it? With the help of fertilizer, they are fixing it. Understand? For that they have different methods, as we discussed in the previous lesson. Crop rotation, so they should use the crops, different crops at the same field, so it will maintain the amount of nutrients in the field. Mixed cropping and leaving the land fallow. And if you find that the amount of the nutrient become very less in your field, so leave it empty for 6 months or 1 year, so again the soil can regain the minerals. We discussed this one in the last. If any student missed the last one, the last lecture, I already shared the links, so you can go through that one. If still any issue, we can discuss it. Okay, then now cash crops replacing the food crops. Now, as you know, cash crops mean the crops in which you are getting the cash, and food crops means it is also you are using only for your needs. So they're saying most commercial farmers prefer to grow crop that generate money. So this cause a decline in the staple food available. So sometimes the people, they use, for example, they will use cotton. A farmer, it use cotton. Cotton is used to make the cloths and other stuff. So that farmer, they get lot of money by this one. But if they are getting cotton, so there is a shortage of the food, because they are not providing the food there. Cotton is only used for the clothes, it cannot be eaten by the people. So it is, they're saying that the farmer should keep a balance. They should grow the commercial crops and also the food crops, so then it can be a balance. After that, mechanization. Then mechanization, I told you that use that new and advanced technology in the fertilization. A lot of work people used to do with their hands before, but now they have machine and lot of things, so then they are using, so that's known as mechanization, using the new technology is in agriculture. is called mechanization. In every field is mechanized now. Mechanized means using the new technology, using the machines. Now, when they're using, it will increase their product, but still it has some, you can say, impact. For machine work efficiency, field have been made larger. Okay, if you need you should use machine, so your field will be larger. For how the field will be larger, for example, before you have like these two fields together or three fields, so then you will make them one field, because machine has to cross these hurdles, then it go to, so it's better you will use all together. So for that you need labor and other things. After that, removing natural vegetation that may provide habitat for. So now, before the people using the if you can say labor, like for example, if you remember that if there is unwanted plants in the field, for example, you have the plant which are not required, so people, before removing them from their hands, they're taking them out, and maybe small is left down, because the human cannot take every piece. But now the machines are available, and if you use those machines, they will not leave even a single new plot. And this thing, it is means you are removing the natural vegetation. And sometimes you know that you will use flame. We discussed in the last class, they use flame, mean fire, to burn all these herbs. And it also, you can say, dangerous, because that natural vegetation, mean these herbs, these plants, the bushes, they are habitat for some animals. So it means you are removing their natural habitat. After that, machine use fossil fuels. Machine, yes, they need, if the machine is working, it need a diesel or a petrol. That is a non-renewable source. It produces a lot of air pollution. It can be large machine exert pressure on the soil through their tires, which causes the soil compaction. It is, yes, one of the reason. And after that, use the machinery can affect the jobs and employment. Yes, before, when there's no machines, you need a people, you need a lot of labor to work in your field. For example, if you want to do something in your field, maybe you need 10 people. It means 10 jobs. Now you brought one machine, and that machine doing the work of 10 people alone. So it means this job is finished. So it creates unemployment. Okay. Soil erosion. As I told you, what do you mean by the soil erosion? Soil erosion means that the soil upper layer is displaced from one place to another. This is a natural process. And what is the reason for this? It can happen due to the water, sometimes due to the ice, snow, air, sometimes due to plant, sometimes due to animal. So the upper layer of the soil is moved from one place to another. So that's known as soil erosion. Okay. Now it has a lot of reasons. One of them is over cultivation, mean the farmer taking too many crops from the small, you can say, field, so that at that time the soil will lose its structure. The particles, they will break down into more smaller particles. So that is one of the reasons of the soil erosion. Other reasons: ice, snow, air, plant, animals. Once again, this is an important topic, because a lot of questions you will find in IGCSE, that what is soil erosion, how you can you overcome the soil erosion. So first of all, you should know what is the soil erosion. And after that, what are the causes and impact of the soil erosion? We will see briefly now, and then we will see in detail. Okay. Now there are number of horizontal layers of the soil. You can see here these lot of layers of the soil. And this is topsoil, this is subsoil, and this is parent rock, then bedrock, all they are working like this. So then whenever the most fertilizer, mean most rich with the nutrients is the topsoil, is your topsoil, in which you have most nutrients which are good for the crop, that is your topsoil. Now see here, they're saying that the structure of the topsoil, all okay here, the topsoil is most fertilizer. The topsoil is most fertile. Fertile means good for agriculture. The structure of the topsoil allows the most root. So here, because it will allow the roots to grow. Other, if you go down the subsoil and parent rock, they are really hard. They will not allow the roots to grow well. So if you have the soil erosion and the top layer is removed, then it means that your land become less fertile. The structure of topsoil allows the most root growth because it is hold water, but also support air spaces. It is a dark because it is contain organic matter. Loss of this air layer can affect the fertility of the soil, mean the soil will lose its all minerals. So that thing is really important, the topsoil. Now here we'll see the causes of the soil erosion. Now, the soil, these, for example, if this is the soil parts, soil particle, these are the soil particles. If you have the plants inside them, so plants has roots down, and these roots are fixed in the soil particle. So they gave a support. The soil give a support to the plant, and plant give a support to the soil, and it hold the soil particles in one place. So if you have too much plants in some area, so there are less chances of soil erosion. Okay. So first thing, that what are the causes? That removal of natural vegetation. If you are going to remove the natural vegetation, mean the grass and the plants and this one, so that you will get this soil, and that soil is not, you can say, strong. Particles are not held strongly as compared to the soil here. So if you remove the vegetation or the plants or the grass and other things from a soil, so there are more chances that you will get the soil erosion. So that is one of the factors. After that, overcultivation we just discussed. Again, you are getting the crops. After that, overgrazing. Overgrazing means that the animals, you leave them for the meadows. You know, the meadows are the places where they can eat freely, especially if you have these large areas like in Africa, you can see, or any area where you have the empty land. If the animals are there and they're eating everything, grass, a lot of grass from there, and again, if they are removing the plants from the soil, so there is more chances for soil erosion. So overgrazing, that's called. Okay, the next thing is wind erosion. You can see that when there is a strong wind, like a cyclone, like a storm, anything, so it removes the wind from, you can say, the soil from one place to another. That is also one cause of erosion, that's known as wind erosion. After that, water erosion. You know, that's the water, if you have too much water due to the rain, due to any other thing, due to flood or anything, so it is removing the top layer of the water. It is also called erosion of the soil, that's known as water erosion. You can see this one, how the soil is eroded here, and it's due to water. And what are the reason of water? It can be heavy rain, it can be the flood irrigation, it can be real floods, so it can cause all these things. You can see here. Now, if there is too much water, you can see here, the soil compaction reduces the infiltration. Infiltration means, for example, you have these water, sorry, the soil particles. This is your soil. In this soil, water can go down because it has a space. So you can say that it is known as water is going down. It is known as infiltration. Water is going down is known as infiltration. But if the soil become really hard, the particles comes very close to each other, then there is no space for water to go down. In that case, that water cannot go down, so the soil become compact. And when the soil become compact, water will remain at the top, and the more water will come if from any side, so it will take the top layer along with it. So that is also called the soil erosion. So you can, as you can say, the soil compaction, it reduces the infiltration. Water cannot go down. If water will go down, so water will not move from here, it will go into the soil. The soil will not erode. If water cannot go down, water will remain on the above the surface. When the more water will come, that water will take the top layer of the soil. So that is one of another, you can say, the reason for soil erosion. Then the another type is known as gully erosion, that is near the streams. Sometimes the stream water going under the soil and it is removing, or you will find that a large part of the land will fall into the stream or the river. Even if you see in your Sudan, the Nile, it is taking lot of land inside it due to this erosion. So it's a large scale erosion. It's due to the stream and all these things. So this is about to finish. When we finish, we'll join again, and then we'll start the impact of soil erosion. What happened if the soil eroded? So what happens on that one? So if the meeting is going to finish at any time, so you can join again, please. Till here, any issue by anyone? Halafullah?
No, sir.
So,
Thank you. Thank you. So if anything, we will start it again, inshallah.